All right, great guys. So I think we are good to begin. Uh, I request the host of the meeting to please start sharing the screen. All right, thank you. So I welcome you all the candidates who have reached up to the state level debate competition organized by Bal Education Trust and both of our judges to take out their precious time and who came here to judge the event. So we'll quickly go through this PPT before starting off. So I'll just go through our NGO, Bal Education Trust, of how what it has done till now. So it's an NGO based in Vapi, Gujarat. And we at Bal Education Trust work for the welfare of students since 2013. So it's almost been 9 years. Every year we raise funds for various activities to provide free education to needy or orphan children. The trust runs a preschool chain across Vapi, and our flagship fundraiser event is National Debate Competition, and we conduct it on an annual basis. Earlier, we used to conduct all the activities, competitions in offline mode, but now, since due to technology in online mode, we have explored a lot of things like Gmeet and Zoom. So we have conducted it online for the first time, and uh, fortunately, our outreach has increased from Gujarat region to national level. The trust aims to provide every student a national exposure from the comfort of their home and opportunity to know their views of the students and other states also. So let us know our judges. So we have Chitra Dhandapani ma'am. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Ma'am is TGT Science at LK Singhani Education Center. And along with her, we have Archana Arora ma'am, who is lecturer English at Alhorn Public School. So I invite both our judges. Archana ma'am, if you'd like to come over and enlighten our enthusiastic student with your words.
Thank you, Vidhi. And first of all, thanks to Bal Education Trust for giving me this opportunity. I had listened to the district level students also. Students definitely they come out with really creative, wonderful, visionary ideas, and taking the opportunity to each home through online. It is really an innovative way. And debate, if it is, definitely students get more chance to express. Let's see today what they have to say about media. All the best to all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am.
Much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for those kind words. Next, we have Chitra, ma'am. Please go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Really, because of the technology, only we are today, we all have united together for this wonderful debate competition. I'm looking forward for this. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to this organizing committee. You are doing a wonderful job. And during this vacation, also, you have given a platform for the children to learn something usefully. Great job you guys are doing. Keep it up. And my all the best to all my lovely kids for your competition. Thank you. Love you
Thank you,
all.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am.
Thank you so much, Chitra, ma'am. Now we'll go to the next slides. So Vidhi Singh, will be serving you as the host for the day. And just for my professional background, I'm currently a final year undergraduate student at Lady Shri Ram College for Women, pursuing economics honors over there, and also a debater and a munner. So we'll go ahead with the next slide. So we know the topic of the day is media is an effective tool for influencing the society. So make sure whatever you have given, whether you have given in favor of the topic or you have given against the topic, your submission. So your speeches should go accordingly. Next slide, please. We'll go through the rules and regulations. Kindly pay attention here. After every slide, I'll try to take up questions. So every participant will get 120 seconds, 2 minutes to present their topic, followed by argument round for next 5 minutes. And don't worry, timer would be displayed on the screen. Any participant found misbehaving with the judge or doing any mischievous activity during the competition will be disqualified. Participant must keep their webcam on or else they would be disqualified. When one participant is presenting his or her topic, who no one else is allowed to interrupt. Official language for the competition will be English. And lastly, participants are not allowed to refer to their notes during the competition. So even if you are reading from somewhere, like both of our judges must be having a combined experience of around 15-20 years. So they would get to know somehow what is being done out there at your home, right? So try, avoiding these unethical activities. And just to let you know, just few pointers from our past debates. Try to make your questions really precise and your answers too. Next slide, please. So this is general information regarding your certificates. Every participant will get one certificate of participation, and the winner who will get promoted to next level, that is to the national level, will get additional certificate. Participation certificates will be released within a week from competition or maybe earlier too. All communications will be done strictly via email, including dispersal of your certificates. And lastly, we request you to keep checking your spam folder. Dhruv, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have a question about the rules and regulations. You said the time limit is 120 seconds, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, is it okay if I go just a few seconds over that time limit, or will it
It
affect my
depends.
score?
All right, I'll tell you. Basically, it depends. For example, you started a sentence 2-3 seconds earlier than the time elapsed. So if you're just completing that sentence, it would be fine. But if you're starting a whole new sentence, saying the buzzer is disturbing you, then you might be maybe negatively marked based upon the judges, or they might just overhear that sentence.
All right, got it. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for answering my doubt.
Thank you, Rehima. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, when we were filling the form for this, then we were not told that in that form it was written that we will be told that when in the competition only we will be told that we have to speak against the topic or with the topic.
All right. So yeah, whenever we'll be having your speeches in a sequence. So I'll be announcing along with that. For example, Rehma is speaking in favor or against. We do have a list along with us. Cool.
I don't know.
All right. So this was it about rules and regulations. Next, the general instructions. So this is basically regarding your marking scheme. This will be the criterias, the bullet points being displayed on your screens. Your opening statement, language utilizations like lexis, phonetics, grammar, body language like eye contact, facial expression, posture, voice modulations, and speech clarity. Confidence level, closing statement, argument or interactions, which would be evaluated in the argument round. Asking lame and meaningless questions will be viewed negatively. So keep that in mind. If you do not have a hard and fast question, please try to refrain from asking anything. And lastly, content. Few things to add on to this. Your opening and closing statement would have 1 mark each. Opening statement 1 mark, closing statement 1 mark. Apart from that, all the other bullet points would be having 2 marks. Cool. And lastly, staying away from the subject matter will be viewed negatively. Yes, Dhruv, go ahead.
Ma'am, I kindly ask you, can you tell me the total amount of marks that this that our speech will have?
Let me check. Can I clarify with the judges, ma'am? Could you tell what is the marking scheme that you have received, like the total?
Total is 10 marks.
Total is 10, Dhruv.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And guys, just one last thing regarding the argument round. Try refraining from asking follow ups. For example, uh, person X makes a speech. You are not required, when we ask for questions, you are not required to make comments on his or her speech. Okay? Your question should end with a question mark, not a full stop. When it ends with a full stop, that's more like a comment. Then person X would not be able to answer your question. Cool. Next slide, please. Then what rewards do you have? The candidates who qualify to the national level. So winner would get cash prize of 11,000, medal, certificate of appreciation by Bal Education Trust. First runner-up, similar things with cash prize 5,000, and second runner-up to 2,500 cash prize. Yes, Nishtha?
I wanted to ask, like, when the opponent would be telling his or her speech, are we allowed to note the points? We can ask questions after his or her speech.
Yeah, your question should be related to his or her speech, so you can
But
definitely,
can we note?
yeah, you can definitely note it in your notebook or something.
Okay, thank you.
Rehma, go ahead.
We have to ask our questions in the chat box. We have to
No,
type the
no,
questions over there.
that would be verbal, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Next slide, please. Tanvi, go ahead.
I had to ask that is the argument compulsory to be 5 minutes?
Yeah,
It has to be 5 minutes.
yeah, that would be like moderated by me. So it would be fully moderated and like timer would be displayed on the screen.
Thank you.
So with this, toffees are awaiting you. Next slide, please. And this is our email, which you can note it down in case you have questions in future. Support@the baleducationtrust.in. Next question, next slide, please. And this is a Facebook and Instagram handle, Bal Education Trust. Like next slide. Cool, guys. So last time, are there any questions? Seeing not.
Excuse me, Viti.
Yes, Jayanti.
I'm Chitra.
Chitra, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Make sure that this is the information for all the participants, that you have to place your camera in such a way that a passport size photo like that, half of your body should be visible, so that we can have a clear idea that you are not copying from any of the notes or anything else. Okay, proper, as what Vidhi said, you have to have proper eye contact on the screen. Okay, this will not give any confusion for us. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, guys, keep that in mind because it's very easy. You might think that I shall read from the laptop or some paper, and ma'am will not get to know it. But it is very visible to the people who observe. So, Rahima, please go ahead with the question.
What if the argument goes less than 5 minutes? What will happen? Will be negative marking will be there for that.
No. So basically, argumentation round depends on your fellow candidates, right? If they aren't asking you questions, we might not have any argumentation round itself. The more number of questions we have, the more longer it will last.
Okay, ma'am.
Jen, I think she has the same question. Cool. We'll go ahead with the roll call now. Basically, our attendance. I think my screen might be visible. Just a second. So, Jayanti Yadav,
Present.
Ved Mishram,
Present.
thank you. Shankar,
Present, ma'am.
all right. Shoni is present. Arav,
Present.
thank you. Prateek,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Abhavya,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Harsh,
Present, ma'am.
Jyoti, Nishtha,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Tanvi,
Present, ma'am.
Puru, Rehma,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Ananya,
Present.
thank you. Ananya apologies. Anabha,
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
thank you. Varchasvi, Sanvi,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Sharanya Bajpai,
Good evening, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Present.
thank you. Gursimrat Preet,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Dhruva,
Ma'am, I'm present.
noted. Anshika Goyal,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Anushka, Utkarsh Kumar, Sargun Kaur,
Present, ma'am.
Drisha,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Sherlin,
Present, ma'am.
thank you. Niyati,
Present, ma'am.
Armandeep, Ananya,
Present, ma'am.
Anushka,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes, who's this?
Ma'am, my name is Jyoti Kumari. Ma'am, my meeting was left. I think so. You have marked my absent.
Jyoti. All right, ma'am. I've marked you present now.
Ma'am.
So, Anushka Srivastava, Kashvi Joshi.
Present, ma'am.
Kashvi is present. All right, so I'll take out the name of the absentees. Puru is absent. Varchasi absent. Anushka Utkarsh Kumar. Armandeep. And lastly, Anushka Srivastava. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students as absent. Cool, guys. I think we are good to begin now. I request the host to start sharing the screen. Meanwhile,
Ma'am, I'm very sorry for interrupting. Actually, I have a question. Can I ask you?
yes, through.
So this argument, will this be like a one versus one, or do we just say our speech and anyone in the whole meeting can ask us a question?
Anyone in the meeting can ask you the question.
Okay, so it's not a one versus one.
No.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhruv. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead with Jayanti Yadav, who will be speaking for the motion. You have the floor for the next 120 seconds, ma'am.
Okay, shall I start?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I, Jayanti, will be speaking for the motion. So, a thirst for power has hungered the minds of politicians, and this has made it the media's responsibility to communicate the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Media is the tool in a democracy that bridges the gap between the people and the government. Its job is to report swiftly, despite the sounds of satisfaction or the sounds of terror. It is an effective tool that constantly influences our minds, opinions, and beliefs. It impacts what we say and what we think. Every youth deserves to have a voice and to put forward its own point of views, and media plays a very strong role in molding the opinions of these younger generations and in watering the seedling of people who will run our country someday. It is the most necessary weapon to say because it can pressurize citizens and it can persuade them to lean towards certain opinions or pressurize them in moments of emergencies. It can also convince them without facing any backlash of whether a story is authentic or not. For example, during Nazi Germany, Hitler understood the power of media very well and succeeded in using this tool to promote his concepts and gain many followers and supports with barely any backlash in comparison. But media can also positively encourage social change because when people listen to someone powerful, they get inspired and they pay more attention to it. What is a democracy if the citizens are kept from knowing the full story and information about its country? The media is the most necessary body of a government because being the fourth pillar of democracy, it informs us about the other three. When you receive news so quickly, it doesn't matter whether it's true or false or a mere opinion of a stranger. The media has the power to change lives. It can turn a monster into a saint and an actual saint to someone who once breathed the same air as us. It holds innumerable opinions, views, and perspectives that continue to affect us, and we can't even dare to understand the complexity of these impacts. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayanti, for that speech in favor of the motion. Any questions for Jayanti? We'll have a buffer of 10 seconds if there are any questions. Arav, go ahead.
Oh, yes, I have a question. You said media can persuade positively, but the way media is today, it sensationalizes meaningless news. What do you have to say to that?
Well, you see, influence doesn't mean positive or negative. When media makes a statement, it's someone powerful who says something, someone with a position. So the citizens, with the lack of information and the right educations, automatically are inclined to believe the words of someone powerful. So it can persuade them, and you know, the media can be very easily overpowered by political parties, and if the media starts to talk in favor of those parties, that will be the only information that the citizens will receive from any source. So it automatically, that's all the information that the citizens receive, it automatically sort of becomes the truth for them.
All right. Thank you, Jayanti. Any more questions for her? Seeing none, we'll go ahead with the next speaker, Ved Meshram, who will give the speech against the motion. Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, respected judges and my dear friends. My name is Ved Meshran and I'll be going for against. Well, we generally think that media is very influential, but that's not going to be the case in the next generations. Well, as the generation progresses, less and less people give their focus to the media. Your role models, your every literal choices are made by media, which is not a good thing. You lose your personality, you lose your brain, and that leaves an impact on your brain. You see movies, you see news, which makes a very big impact on your brain, which lasts for several days. You see bad dreams and etc. on it. It is bombarding you with very much content of facts, factual content, which you can't remember. Your personality, your opinions doesn't matter to media. Your opinions are not even your media doesn't matter to them. Like you start believing them so much that if they say anything that is not unbelievable, you will also believe them because you have lost your mind and personality. But we have more smart TVs now, which has become the most lost, we can say, and which is why media doesn't influence you. Well, it does, but you choose whether it has to. media has become less effective. So that's all, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Questions for Ved? Anyone? Got 5 seconds. You're required to raise your hand. Dhruv, go ahead.
Yes, okay. So Ved, actually at the beginning you said something like the media eats our brain, it kind of removes our personality. Even at the end of the day, the influence is still there. It influences us, whether it is positive or negative. At the end of the day, it still influences us. Actually, do you have any response to what I just said?
Yeah, it does actually influence us, but not in that way. As the generation progresses, we are getting more smarter and smarter towards and we are getting aware that what is media doing to us.
Thank you, Dhruv and Ved. Nishtha, go ahead.
Yes, you said a line, smart TV are negatively impacting. I want to ask, I agree, but at a certain point, they help us knowing what's going on the world. If media is not there, you're not gonna get to know what's actually going around the world.
Yeah, actually, smart TVs help us. Smart TVs are a way to like opponent to the media. Like in the normal TVs, we have channels and it is propaganded, which is not in control of us. But in smart TVs, we can control what to watch and we can save ourselves from the propaganda, I guess.
Okay, and while answering the last question, you said that media influences. So how are you going to defend that?
Media influences, but in very minute way. We are very like that is the future. We are not going to influence it. Media is getting very, very less effective.
The question is not about it's influencing it in bad way or good. It
All
influences.
right, guys. No cross questioning. This session is being moderated by me. Only one question per candidate would be considered. Jayanti, go ahead.
You said that an individual's personality and opinion matters. How do you suggest that people will form their own personality and opinions without listening to the various perspectives of different media platforms that discuss the topics?
Media actually puts their own opinions or instead ignoring the everyone's opinions. Like they put that this is bad, so you have to think that it is bad only. Like that.
Tanvi, go ahead.
I wanted to ask that you mentioned in your speech that how media brainwashes, and you also answered in the previous question that it puts its own opinions into the things. So it means it gives bad influence, but that's still influence. So
It is considered influence, but at least I am aware that media is influencing me, so I'm not using it. It doesn't matter that everyone else, but according to the future, the more advanced generation, the Gen Z now is actually 50% of Gen Z actually don't watch news or media.
All right, thank you. Seeing no more questions, we'll go ahead with the first candidate, Shankar, who will give his speech for the motion.
Yes.
You have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, respected ma'am and my dear friends. I am Shankar from DPS East Bangalore, and today I will be speaking for the topic about the influence of media on today's society. A free press is a precious privilege that no country can forego. Mahatma Gandhi. As every coin has two sides, a positive media can positively influence the masses, and those that don't do so should be weeded by the law of our land as also public censure. Blaming the media industry as a whole defeats the larger purpose and the intent of the mass media. After all, without the media, society is like a vehicle without wheels. Over the past 500 years, the influence of media has grown exponentially with the advance of technology. First, there were newspapers, books, newspapers, magazines, photography, radio, television, and now the social media. Today, just about everyone depends on information and communication to keep their lives moving through daily activities such as work, education, healthcare, leisure activities, and a lot more. It is not unusual to wake up, check the phone for notifications, look at the TV or newspaper, take meetings, and make decisions based on the information we make from these mass media or interpersonal media sources. The media has become the mirror of the modern world society and reflects to the world what it has seen through electronic modes such as social media, internet content, and also traditional modes such as newspapers and other print. Media plays a significant role in making the world a global village and to reduce the communication gap between the people. High internet penetration and newspaper readership correlate strongly with high levels of education. A healthy media creates a healthy society. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead with questions now. Questions for Shankar, if any. Buffer of 5 seconds. Seeing none, we'll go ahead with the next speaker. Miss Shawnee Mehta will be speaking against the motion. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Aren't you familiar with the former president, Dr. APJ Kalam? A self-made person. What do you think? Wasn't he able to attain
Wait. Excuse me. Sony, your camera is not on.
Okay, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Can I start again?
Yeah. Start.
Okay. Aren't you familiar with the former president, Dr. APJ Kalam? A self-made person. What do you think? Wasn't he able to attain success? Of course he was. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm Shirley Mehta from the Avati Movie Academy. Presenting my stand against the topic. I would like to begin by saying that the debate around media is an effective tool for influencing the society is such an innate topic. I have some pretty controversial opinions about this. We are living in an era with messages being watched or seen or heard all the time around. I genuinely believe that the way we have been raised in our family, with the values instilled in us by our elders, only bring pride of our culture and tradition to the society. The Mumbai Dabbawalas is the best example to this, who were almost untouched by media. Their process, management, organization, and culture that was perfectly aligned and mutually reinforcing was an epitome of brilliant management. Their strategies of collecting the lunch boxes and delivering it on time was amazing. Was their success in any way influenced by media? I would like to mention here cleanest village of Asia, Molinong in Meghalaya, which was almost untouched by media. What do you think? The villagers got swayed? Did they fail to maintain their culture? Of course not. So instead of endless allegations on media, wouldn't it be better if we have a strong mindset for grooming our skills? I'm sure that no one would be affected by the manipulated media sources, which are affecting our life in a very negative way. We would live a very peaceful life then. With that, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Shawnee. So we'll have questions for her.
Yes.
Buffer of 10 seconds. Yes, Shankar, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So you're saying that media is good because it.
Yes.
So it says that you're saying that media is good and it promotes good things. Like for example, it gives us good things. So what do you mean? Because let me reframe your question. Suppose we know the great epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana, which were aired on TV. So people, because of this, people understood that understood the great epics of India and the rich heritage.
So if there were no media, we wouldn't have known this. And without the media, suppose the floods in Kerala, without this, no one else could
Shankar,
have.
sorry to interrupt you. You are not required to make a comment on our speech. A question should look like a question.
Okay, ma'am.
Like take it as a feedback, right?
Yes.
So just avoid wastage of time. We are telling it.
Okay. So without these, there wouldn't have people wouldn't have known this situation. So what are your views?
There is nothing. The media is just important. What do you think? In the past times, there was no media. The media has stabilized only a few years ago. So, weren't the people able to get the news then? There were many other ways. Media is good, but it has more disadvantages than having its advantages. Because we all know that it is not important. Wouldn't be able to live without media. There was a time when there was no media. Wasn't the news being able to spread at that time?
Any more questions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead with the next participant. Arav Parashar will give his speech for the motion. Arav, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you are visible now. You can go ahead.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry. Can you let's restart the timer?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Malcolm X said, and I quote, "Media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power, because media controls the mind of the masses." A warm good afternoon to Honorable Judy and my fellow debaters. Today, I, Arif Kawashar, stand before you in support of the argument media is an effective tool for influencing the society by speaking for the motion. During the time of Vedas and Upanishads, media played a pivotal role in shaping our society. During the freedom struggles, newspapers like Tirak's Maratha and Gandhiji's Young India acted as a platform to raise the demand for the needs of common Indians and to express solitude with soldiers and made the people realize their rights and encourage them to raise voices against exploitation. Today, politicians take full advantage of their position, and even nexus of mafia and crime syndicate has made the life of the common man miserable. Media exposes the scams, fights corruption, nepotism, and carries out relentless campaign against them. I would now conclude by saying that the media today is done outstanding work in creating and shaping the public opinion and also securing our society. The sword arm of democracy is acting as a watchdog to protect the public opinions. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Arav? Anshika, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I had a question that he said that
I can't hear you. Your voice is echoing a lot.
Arav, could you repeat what did you say?
I can't hear you. The voice is echoing a lot.
Could you come a little closer to your screen? Maybe you'll be hearing that.
Yes.
Anshika, be louder.
1 minute. Anushka, use a headphone better. Earphone or headphone. Are you using?
No, ma'am.
Please use it. Otherwise, there will be an echo.
Ma'am, I can speak it more louder. I want to ask that you said that the political parties, when tease the people or do something wrong, the media exploits them. So, but many times the political parties pay the media so that they could exploit the other party. So it's not sure that media is actually exploiting the party.
Thank you for your question, but I did not say exploit. I said that it helps expose them. So if they are scammers or they do not have anything related to the development of the government, media exposes them. I did not say that it exploits them.
Thank you. Tanvi, go ahead.
In your whole speech, you pointed out the importance of media, how they reach people to people. But often media gets censored. Often media has a pressure of not fully giving the news. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yes,
what
I
do you think? It does not really reach. And you also said it protects democracy. But when there's no transparency, how do you expect people to know?
Tanvi, all right, Tanvi, no cross questioning. Even if the candidate is not able to answer your question, you aren't allowed to cross question him.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, Arav, I want to ask that you told that media stops corruption, but in many cases have came front that media is self-corrupted. What do you want to say on that?
Yes, I understand your question, but media, I understand that it's not independent, but nowadays there are many modes of media. You have print media, news media, you have many news channels. So it is your opinion, it's you who decides which side to decide. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any more questions? I am seeing none. We'll go ahead with the next candidate, Pratik Raj, who will speak against the motion. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Whoever controls the media controls the mind. This quote was said by Jim Morrison. Good morning to one and all present here. I, Pratik Raj of City Montessori School, Lucknow, is going to speak on the topic Media is an effective tool for influencing the society, and I am against the motion. It has negative impacts on the society. Media sometimes show fake news or rumors, which can create misunderstanding among people and lead to quarrels. For example, a mob hits innocents by getting carried away by rumors spread on the internet. People on media post or publish false statements, which may cause harm to someone's reputation. Children are very negatively influenced by media. Children lose their creativity as they prefer to copy the information available on media. Inappropriate contents available on media causes mental and emotional harm to children. Children also experience mental and physical harm as they become victims of cyber attack. Nowadays, people are too much addicted to media and they spend most of their time on it. Thus, they lack social skills and suffer from physical and mental health issues. Because of all these negative impacts, most people try to keep their children away from media. Thus, nowadays, media is becoming ineffective and losing its importance. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Pratik? Jayanti, go ahead.
Okay, so you said that media can spread rumors and defame a person. Don't you think that this power to spread rumors and defame a person itself is an influence that media has on people?
Can you repeat?
All right. So at the start of your speech, you said that media can spread rumors and defame a person. Don't you think that the power to defame a person itself is an influence that media has on the citizens?
I did not get your question.
All right, I'll reframe. Okay. So if you suggest that media can spread rumors about a person and have their reputation torn down, if media can make a statement and have this backlash, don't you think it is an influence, even if a negative one?
Yes, it is a negative influence because it is causing harm to person's defamation. Because
Yeah,
it is causing harm to person's reputation.
uh, but even if it is a negative influence, it's still an influence, right?
So it is not mentioned in the topic that the influence is positive or negative. The influence can be negative also and positive also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Rasmeet Kaur, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Sanvi Kaur.
Cool. Thanks for correcting. Go ahead.
Yes. So you talked about the negative influence on the children by watching that they watch inappropriate material on the media. The media is supposed to provide all kind of information. Isn't it the parents' duty to check what their children are watching? It's not the media's mistake, I mean.
Yes, it is their parents' duty, but it is not like parents are always free and they will keep a watch on their child whole time. So sometimes it happens that the inappropriate content pop-ups and the parent does not know about it, and parent cannot keep a watch on his child the entire time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Shankar, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, don't you think media is only a messenger and the children need to use their discretion?
Can you repeat?
Yeah. Don't you think media is only a messenger and the children need to use their discretion while watching?
Can you reframe it?
Okay, so children, they also use media. So, shouldn't they be aware of what they're watching? About what's good for them?
Young children who are young do not know what is right and wrong.
All right. Thank you. Arav, please go
They
ahead.
have not experienced all this.
Then why blame the media? It's not the media's fault.
All right, guys, no cross questioning. As I said, it won't go like a person made comment on someone's speech will revert back, and based on that reversion, you ask a question. A question should go continuously. Arav, do you have a question or not?
Yes, I do. You said that now parents have stopped letting their children watch media because of the cyberbullies. But you understand that the same media is what provides them the education about being cyberbullied and all. What do you have to say about that?
I think you are right that media only provides education about cyberbullies, but sometimes there are cyberbullies and parents does not know what their child is doing. So it might be that they are affected by cyberbully, and media has many disadvantages also.
All right, thank you. With this, we'll go ahead with the next participant, Advitya Verma, who will be speaking in favor of the motion. The floor is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. We get to live in a time that we get to use social media as a tool. Hello everyone, I'm Advitya Verma from City Montessori School, and today I'm here to present my views in the motion of the topic, Media is an effective tool for influencing the society. I strongly believe that media is helping the society a lot. Media is a part of this modern era. It is used by students, teachers, colleges, schools, marketing professionals, and by others for their own purposes. As we all have already seen in this pandemic, that media sources such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram have helped people in talking to their friends and relatives. Media sources give us information about the current affairs, social news, fashion, and the latest gadgets in the marketplace. It also educates the society, like the vegetable sellers on the road are illiterate, but they do use mobile, and this makes them knowledgeable. Illiteracy is one of the biggest challenges in front of our country. India has the largest population of illiterate adults in the world. That is, India has 287 million people illiterate, which is 37% of the global total. Media has access to the largest population worldwide. Moreover, the study groups on Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, as well as study videos on YouTube, blogs, and educational websites are really very helpful for the illiterates. That's why it is said media play a powerful role in perpetuating and establishing a new society. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have questions for Ms. Advitya. Yes, Tanvi, go ahead.
In your speech, you mentioned that how media is responsible for establishing society, but often medias are censored. So, aren't people getting into the wrong direction?
See, what I'm trying to say is that if we limit ourselves so that we can improve, sorry, if we limit ourselves, then we can stop this.
Am I? But you.
Sorry, Tanvi, you cannot.
Yeah, sorry.
Just a very friendly reminder to everyone. Whenever a person is asking a question or someone is answering, their response is enough for the judges to mark you, right? You don't need to cross question or cross answer them again and again to prove that your point is correct. Rehma, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So my question is, what about the insecurity and lack of privacy protection that is because of this social media?
I think we should be aware of it, and we should be self-protected while using the media.
All right, thank you. Ananya Thakur, go ahead.
Shasi stated about literacy and media influence about that in your speech. So I wanted to ask that if a poor person is there, they can't even have their one day meal. So how can they buy the cheapest source of media, that's newspaper? How is media going to influence them?
If that poor person is not having other media sources, so he has friends or relatives, so he can see from there.
All right, thank you. Arab, go ahead.
Oh, yes, I had the question. What do you have to say about media sensationalizing meaningless news to gain viewership?
Can you please elaborate?
What do you have to say about media giving meaningless news to gain viewership?
If it is giving us meaningless information, then we should ignore it and move on.
All right, thank you. Seeing no more questions, we'll go ahead with the next speaker, Abhavya Singh, who will speak against the motion. Abhavya, are you there?
Ma'am?
Yes, Drishti.
Ma'am, Drisha.
Drisha?
Yes, ma'am. I actually have a question regarding the topic. So the people who are against the topic have to speak upon the media does not have an influence as a whole, or what the negative influence is like.
It's as a whole, because the topic doesn't state positive or negative, so it would be as a whole.
Yeah, but the thing is, when I was confused about the topic, and I emailed the Bal Education Trust, and they said that the negative, you have to write about the negative impact.
All right, then you shall consider the one, you should prioritize the one written in the email, because I'm not the part of like the committee who sends this information.
Yeah. Okay.
So that would be definitely prioritized. Cool. Abhavya isn't there, so we'll go ahead with the next speaker. Harsh. Harsh.
I'm there.
With him?
He's there.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Has responded. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. What you see is what you do. So watch something that should benefit you. With these lines, I, Abhavya Singh of Class 8 sitting on this school now, is here to speak against the motion for the topic that media is a very powerful tool that can be used for any purpose, positive or negative. So nowadays, almost everyone is familiar. especially the young youth of a nation aged from 13 years to 24 years of age can easily be trapped off the right path. So they should be aware with the ongoing news as they will be the future generation. Majority of people think that whatever the media is telling is all truth, but it's not at all like that. There is a lot of secret hidden behind that one news. So we shouldn't react on the first view. We should always think more about that and learn more about that. Media can easily influence, pressurize, or persuade anybody. It has various advantages and disadvantages. Media has impacted people the way they use it, some in good sense and some in bad. But I think that media is even promoting violence and aggression by having some sort of debates between two parties or two people having two different and opposite views. Media also spreads some wrong news about the original news by getting some amount of money from people related to that news. So we can say that some have, not all. I'm not saying that all of them, but some. Nowadays, we can also observe some controversies over religion places or a religious space, and the media is changing the whole thing by altering the media also posts some fake information about same topic, which is even learned by them, and this is when it ruins the topic.
All right, we'll have questions for the same. Tanvi, go ahead.
In your speech, you mentioned media can persuade people, some in good sense and some in bad sense. But does it does conclude that it has influence, right?
Yes, it has influence. Now it depends on you that how you take it up.
All right, thanks for that answer. RD, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask that you told that media promotes violence. How the media promotes the violence?
Can you please repeat?
I want to ask that you told that media promotes violence. But how the media promotes violence?
See, I didn't told that always, but what I spoke was that sometimes media promotes violence and aggression by having some sort of debates, and like two parties, two different peoples with different views are there, and they are then clashing on their. So this now small children, the young youth is seeing that, then they will also grow some aggression in them.
All right, next question from Anshika. It's Anshika, right? The one, okay, that's Auntie. Apologies. Please go ahead.
All right. So you stated that media promotes aggression. Don't you think that promoting aggression influences the extremist population?
Can you reframe your question?
Okay. So you stated that media promotes aggression and violence. So the people in the country who already have aggressive behaviors and are ready for communal wars of sorts and fights, don't you think that promoting aggression influences those people to go over the edge and get violent?
Yes, media influences them to get more aggressive and violent, but right means what I wanted to say that the young youth right who is watching on news channels, they will also grow the same aggression in them. So I think that they should prevent, they should stop this.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I suppose with this we have elapsed the argumentation round. We'll go ahead with the next speaker. Harsh, are you there? Harsh?
Yes, ma'am.
You're required to start, sir.
Ma'am, now it's fine.
Yes, sir, absolutely. You can start.
Good evening, respected judges and my dear friends. So let's start the topic. I am Harsh Vishwakarma from grade 8 studying in the Oriental School and I am against the topic. So, social networking does have negative effects but it is not compared to the advantages. These sites reduce face-to-face socializing and replace it into online interactions. And it means, which is believed that it will be effect on our relationships with other people. Cyber criminals also use the network social networking and it to gather information by posted by the people. It is also said that small children's endanger by allowing pedophiles to seek out children's. It will also cause us cancer and also cause to our brains and body by emitting the electromagnetic radiations by using social networking and cell phones. Thank you.
Thank you, Harsh. We'll go ahead with the argumentation round now. Any questions for Harsh? Tanvi, go ahead.
Yes. So you mentioned in your speech that it has a negative impact on relations. But don't you think in during the pandemic, media was the only way we could connect to relations? It helped.
Yes, media give informations to us in the during the pandemic, but there are some fake informations that has also has been given by media, and that's why some peoples are be aware about that.
All right. So, Rashmeet can go ahead.
Sanvi again. So there
Yeah,
is a
just one more thing. Whosoever haven't joined with their own account, so just correct again and again because so that judges are able to mark you.
yes.
Go ahead, Sanvi.
There's a Sanskrit saying Vasudev Kutumbakam, meaning the world is a family. You told about the effect, how media affects the relationships. Don't you think that during the pandemic we were able to connect with the world outside our family as well? Like the world is our extended family, so we got to connect with them.
Sorry, I can't get your point. Please again. Please repeat again.
Yes. What I mean is that we all are a family. Many preachers have like taught us that world, we all are brothers. So don't you think that in the pandemic we got to connect with the world outside our family, who is also our extended family?
All right, Shankar, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, how can media be responsible for cyber attacks during banking? Shouldn't we be aware of our security?
Sorry.
How can media be responsible for cyber attacks in banking? Shouldn't we know our security protocols?
Cyber criminals use I've also I've also included in my statement. They use social networking to hack our accounts and also gather some informations.
All right, Arav, go ahead.
Yes, I had a question. You said that the cell phone's electromagnetic rays cause cancer. What are your sources that suggest that?
So, Sorry, I don't know.
All right, in that case, we'll go ahead with our next speaker, Jyoti Kumari, who will be giving her speech against the motion. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jyoti and I'm from class 8-3 from Amritsar Public School. Today, I'm in the motion that media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Social media has changed the way we communicate, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or other host apps. It has given all of us an immediate way to connect and share with our friends, family, and those who share our interests. Media is considered as mirror in the modern society. In fact, it is the media which shapes our lives. I would like to share how the influence of media in today's society. Society influenced by media in so many ways. It is the media for the masses which get information of so lots of things. It keeps people informed and updated about lots of things about what is happening around us and in the world. There are so many positive effects of social media in our society. For example, offering support, creativity, better communication, etc. Social media gets spreading news, it spread news and lots of things which we want to know, which we not want to know it in our life. It is so entertaining for us. You can learn from different people who is living in different country. So I think so this is the best media which influence our society. So these are the reason why the media is the effective tool for influencing the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti. Questions for Jyoti?
Can
Yes, Tanvi.
Yes. So in your speech, you mentioned that media helps people to be informed and updated, but usually people who get uh, news from social media are often more prone to be caught up in wrong claims. So, what do you suggest on that?
Sorry, but I can't get your point, what you were saying. Can you speak again?
I meant that people who get their news from social media, as you suggested, are you suggested that it keeps us well informed, but often people who get their news sources from social media are more prone to be caught up in claims, wrong claims. So, what do you suggest on that?
So I think so that not media always gives us false response or false information. Yes, we get sometimes when media gives us false information, but many of the times it gives our true and the positive information to us.
All right, Rasmeet.
Yes. So I want to talk about, you said that media increases our creativity. We as children are completely dependent on media on what we are doing today. We don't think about things. So our originality, our creativity, our imagination has been conceived. Would you like to clarify that?
Yes, when we think that we have to do this, well, not all students are same. They think differently. Some of them think during in our mind then they want to do what they want to do, but not all students are dependent on dependent on themselves. Some of them are dependent on social media. They watch from YouTube how the things are made up, then they reuse the things, and this is the reason. Not all students are dependent on themselves. Some of them are dependent on media.
All right, with this, we will have the argumentation round. We'll go ahead with the next speaker, Nishtha Agarwal. Go ahead for the next 120 seconds.
Sorry, please. I wanted to clear against or motion.
Yeah, Nishtha Agarwal would be giving her speech in favor of the motion.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nishtha Agarwal from class 8th from Bal Bharati Public School.
Let me check how many likes I got on the post I posted yesterday. Let me share a picture of this. Isn't this influencing of media? People are stressed out if they get less likes or hatred on social media. Isn't this social media influencing us? Yes, social media is influencing us. We watch TV more than 3 hours a day. We don't take that much time in eating whole day, right? Don't you think watching something that long will influence you a bit? Media is something where people share what is going on in the world, especially the issues, controversial issues, and the the news people share their point of view according to them. So this is influencing of media towards us to force us in their decisions. Media shows an advertisement again and again. Why do you think? This is because media wants to influence us and make us buy that product. Big brands advertise their products and spend a lot of money because they know that media get influenced by this method. Nowadays it is almost everywhere, and it's almost impossible to live without media. I hope you all agree with the points. And censorship, main reason of people being influenced towards the media, because censorship forces the news channels to send only interesting news on TV instead of important and small but important ones. So I'm not saying media is not important. It gives us a lot of knowledge, but at the same time, it influences us very badly. To sum up everything that I've stated, media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll have an argumentation round for the same. Seeing none, we'll go ahead with other candidate, Miss Tanvi Prabhu, who will be giving her speech against the motion. Please go ahead.
Okay. Should I start?
Yeah.
Good morning to respected all. We are all gathered here to discuss on the topic that is media an effective way to influence the society. And today me, Tanvi Prabhu, is going to speak against the motion. I agree that media is now deeply rooted in our lifestyles, and it's very and has utmost importance. But today's question is not whether it's good or bad. Today's question is it an effective tool to influence the society? So let me start by explaining what influencing means. Influencing by Oxford Dictionary defines that a person or a thing that affects or changes somebody or something. So here I ask you a question. Does media change the way people think? No, it does not. Media often, people often think that liking a Facebook post on racism is you contributing to that campaign. And it further limits yourself to a certain point that you think showing your activism on social media is you contributing to that campaign. And let's be honest, going out there and contributing yourself gives more contribution than liking an Instagram post on it. I think if media really influenced, really changed the people or the way they think, wouldn't we have been reached the perfect society till yet with all those trends going on? Yes, media gives you awareness, but does it change the way you think? Does it change the way you take information? You can be aware, but you cannot change the way you're thinking. Thank you.
Thank you for that speech. Any questions? Ananya Thakur.
So my question is that you stated liking or liking or following that thing on that campaign on Facebook is much better than going over there. So you mean that uh, sorry. I meant that you said going over there is much better than liking or this thing. So it states that they have been influenced by that campaign, so they are going over there.
My dear friend, I think you have misunderstood. I stated that going out there and contributing is much better than liking and post on it, because people often think that showing activism over social media and is better, like they think their job is done, but going out there and contributing is much more and is much more visionary.
Shankar Yadav.
Ma'am, it's Shankar V. Kumar.
Oh, apologies.
It's okay, ma'am. So, if media is like how you say it exists to be, then suppose in hospitals, people in ICUs can communicate to their families from across the globe through WhatsApp calls or Zoom. So, if media didn't exist, how would this be possible?
My dear friend, I am not here questioning about media's existence. Yes, I also agreed when I started that yes, media is important, but I am denying the fact that how we assume that media influences or changes us. Thank you.
All right, Kashi Joshi.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, you have said that media can do influence us, but it cannot change our opinion. But is it true to say that as at the time of election, we have seen many a times people make the opinion just viewing the news channels that which political party is doing better. So it is true to say that.
I did not say that media influences us. I said influences means affecting or changing, right? So so I meant that media does not change a person. It can be make you aware of things, but it does not make the way you think. It does not change the way you think or you perceive the information, right? And that's what I meant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Aditya.
Yes. In your speech, you mentioned about the disadvantages, but don't you think media has more advantages? Like it provides us information, and don't you think media is also having advantages?
My fellow worthy opponent, I did not here again question the existence. I agreed that it is important, but I denied the fact how we think it changes people, it changes society, and society is so broad over here. So people who do not have access to media, so there's no influencing really happening here. Thank you.
Arav.
You said, so I'm sorry, I mean, media helps in shaping public opinion. What do you have to say about that?
Public opinion, right? You, I public opinion. So I meant that when you're people, you think media actually changes the way we think. People show activism, social media backgrounds, but when you say society, my dear boy, you mean lot more than going on Twitter and writing a tweet. You mean going out there and standing up for people, and I do not think media does that. Media actually limits our activism. It makes it just going to Twitter, posting something, liking something, and that's what people think uh, activism is. Thank you.
All right, thank you. With this, we'll go ahead with the next speaker, Puru, Puru is absent. So Rehema Ahmed will be giving her speech against the motion. You have the floor, ma'am.
Good morning and Jajika to respected arbitrators and all my dear companions. Today I, Rema Ahmed, is here from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, and I will speak in against for the topic that social media is an effective tool for influencing a society. So let's start. Social media is a web based platform which helps us to share ideas, thoughts, information among the communities. Using social media is a very powerful way to communicate among the people as it has the ability to connect with anyone around the world. Although it has many disadvantages. Number one, insecurity and lack of privacy protection are the main disadvantages of social media. With everything public on social platforms, the privacy of people could go manipulated for negative uses. Number two, the excessive use of internet has created a lot of problems, especially for youth. The problems like youth isolation, individualism, and lack of interest in real life, etc., are the most worrying problems created by social media. Number three, many of the children have become victims of cyberbullying, due to which they have suffered a lot. Number five, excessive use of social media can affect your physical and mental health in a big way. Often, people experience laziness, fat, eye irritation, and itching in eyes, loss of vision, and stress, etc., after its excessive use. Now, I would like to end my range right here. Thank you, and have a prodigious, miraculous, and a spectacular day ahead.
All right, thank you. So we'll go ahead with the argumentation round now. And Jayanti, go ahead.
So you suggested that through social media, everything in all our profiles are public, but there are a lot of options to keep a private profile. So don't you think that keeping a public profile is an individual's choice, and whatever repercussions they face because of it is for them to blame and not social media?
Please repeat, your voice was cracking a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. So you suggested that through social media, everything is public. But there are a lot of options to keep a private profile on all social media platforms. So don't you think that keeping a public profile is an individual's decision, and whatever consequences they face because of it are for theirs to blame and not at any fault of the media?
Yes, you're right, because the social media is one of the most powerful weapon today, and it has both advantages and disadvantages, but it depends upon the person how they use it. Like you said that uh, I said that insecurities and lack of privacy protection, that is because of the people that they think that it is very easy to just like we can say.
All right, Monica Verma, Monica Kumari.
Yes. Uh, you suggested that people are getting lazy and they are getting irritation, they are getting irritated from the media. Do you really think that social media is the thing through which people are getting lazy?
Yes, it is one of the things, this is because just one click, like whatever we have to do, like we have to order some food, we just have to click and order, and all the other things like when we were in class fifth or fourth, we didn't use social media that much that we are using today. At that time, we tried to look in our books for projects and all, but now today we always look for Google. Like Google is there, nothing is a problem, we just have to copy it down. So that is wrong. We have to see from the books, because books have always given us the right way.
All right, one last question from Tanvi.
You suggested that people get lazy, they are lazy, right? But don't you think it is the individuals, you know, individuals' choice on how they use media? Media is there to provide information, but how you use it, it depends on you. So, So why to blame the media?
I didn't said that it is only the problem of media. Like social media has both advantages and disadvantages, but it depends on us how we use it. It is the most powerful tool today. It has revolutionized our lives. Therefore, its power should be used wisely and sensibly for the development, progress, and prosperity of our lives today. So we have to use it very carefully.
All right, Saroj. Saroj, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. You said in one of your previous answers, you said that we can copy the content available on internet for project. So will it be right as children would lose their ability to think and creativity? So will it be right to do so?
I said that it's wrong because of this. Like in older times when we were in class fifth and fourth, we tried to. Go to libraries and get the books from teachers and see that what all things we can get from this for this project. But in today's the all the like my cousin only, she always uses social media for doing a project. Her last project was on animals, so she was all the things she copied from the Google only, and she didn't even made anything. She just ordered all the stickers and the photos we tried to make, but she didn't do anything. She just wrote and just stick the pictures and all. So yes, it is wrong using it.
All right. So apologies for the delay. We have Ananya Khanna next as a
Yeah.
speaker against for the motion. Sorry.
Sorry, what's my topic? Sorry,
For the
in
motion.
favor of. Okay. Shall I start?
Sure.
You know what, guys? Sorry. That's it.
I guess Ananya left. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead with the next speaker. Anabh. Anabh, are you there? Anabh
Yes,
will
ma'am.
give
Yeah,
the
I'm back.
speech.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, I had
Who's
some.
that? Ananya. All right, ma'am. You can go ahead now.
Yeah. You know what, guys? I had some difficulties in my syllabus. So one of my friends told me how he understood all the topics easily by seeing a few of the videos, which not only helped us learn complex concepts, but also helped us improve listening and punctuation skills. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Anya Khanna, and today I'll be speaking in the favor of media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Research found that more than 80% of teens surveyed social media helped them feel more connected to their friends, and more than two-thirds said that social networks help them interact more with a more diverse group of people and made them feel as though they had a support system during trying times. So, media mainly affects us in three ways: enhanced learning opportunities, health information and issues, and powers in business. Enhanced learning opportunities, such as many schools successfully used blogs as teaching tools. And it's really helpful for the children to understand the concepts in a better way. And social media also helps us to anonymously get information about the health issues. Actually,
for creating awareness all over. So, in fact, it also helps in communication between people and businesses. So, it's cheap and effective means to enhance brand and image popularity. Last but not the least, it is up to each user to use social sites wisely to enhance their professional and social life. Thank you.
All right, we'll have an argumentation round now. Questions for Ananya? Seeing none, we'll have Anab Kumar, who will be giving his speech against the motion. Sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Mark Twain once observed that if we read and listen, if we do not read and listen to media, we are uninformed. But if we read and listen to media, we are misinformed. Good afternoon, respected judges and all one and all present over here. My name is Anav Kumar Dubey of Class 8 Ramanujan Public School. I am going to speak in the I'm going to speak in the against of the topic. Media is an efficient tool for influencing the society. In the present time, in the present time, we just cannot believe the media as the media nowadays just spreads the fake news and rumors like a fire in a forest. People just believe this fake news and do not even think about it. People and a case came out where a rumor was spread on WhatsApp which lead to which where farmers killed innocent man. Social media also has a bad effect on small children because on social media there are some contents which are not appropriate for the children. Also, in today's world, media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make innocent guilty and guilty innocent. And in many places, this power has been misused many times, and it is disaster for the country. Also, also the media shows the news in a wrong way, or you can say in a aggression way, which excites the people and it leads to communal rights. And James Garrison said, whoever controls the media controls our mind. So these were my views on today's media. Thanks everyone for listening me.
All right, we'll go ahead with questions. Question from Anab, for Anab. Arab?
You said we can't believe India as a circulate false news. Can you elaborate on that with an example?
Like say there are many fake news and rumors which are spreading on broadcast media, or we can also say like social media, so people are just believing that news.
Anab, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, ma'am, I answered.
All right, Tanvi?
Yes. So you mentioned three things in your speech. People believing the wrong sources. Okay. Two things in your speech. Media has the power to make the guilty innocent and the innocent guilty. And you also mentioned the quote that as I quote, whoever controls the media controls the mind. So these two things itself suggest that media has such a strong influence on people that it can make guilty innocent and innocent guilty, right? So what do you think on this?
No, it's not the influence, it's the power which the media has.
All right, Nishtha?
Yes, you mentioned that the media.
Anna, you
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
your mic muted. You keep, when you speak, that time you unmute. Now you keep your mic mute.
You mentioned that media shares fake news. I want to say
media does not, why do you think media shares fake news? It sometimes enhances it to make it interesting, but why do you think it is fake always?
No, I didn't say that the newses are always fake. I just said that many times to get the viewership and to get the TRP, the news channels just show the fake news.
All right, Jayanti.
So you said that people will believe the media even if they are rumors. Don't you think that this belief in the media by the citizens is an influence that the media has on the people?
No, this is not. We cannot say this as an influence. People are believing on the media, so because of the fake news.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Denied, Jayanti. We'll go ahead with the next candidate,
Sure.
who is Varchasi Pandey. Varchasi, are you there? She'll be giving her speech in. All right, Varchasi is absent. So, Sanvi Kaur, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Sanvi will be giving her speech against the motion. You may have the floor.
Yesterday, while scrolling across images, I came across a photo with my family. It was hard to remember when I was so connected with them instead of my online friends. This is the effect of media. A very cheerful afternoon to every individual present here. I am Sandvi Kaur and I'm strictly opposite today's topic. If you ever jumped into the fire, can you come out of it alive? Hard to be. Consider the same situation for media. The future of your eyesight is at large stake. Across all devices, the average internet user spends 7 hours online per day. People don't have an opinion of their own because media creates the public's views through different techniques. How strong our willpower might be, media always tends to modify our individuality in some or the other way. Anxiety, depression, loneliness. Well, these are common terms these days. According to reports, social media has drastically increased mental trauma. People have now become netizens instead of citizens. Jim Morrison said that whoever controls the media controls the mind. 41% of children have developed social anxiety because of cyberbullying. Let me conclude by saying that media is the strongest anchor. It plays with your mind, snatches your childhood, alters your personality, and in the end, leaves you as a person you never were. The clock is ticking. You have to decide quickly whether to make an independent decision today or leave your future in the hands of the media. Thank you.
Jayanti.
So you said that the media creates the public's opinions. Doesn't this hinder the debate that media has no influence because creating an opinion is an influence and impact at the end of the day?
Today's topic of debate is that media is an effective tool for influencing the society. So I never meant to say that media does not influence the society. The media influences the society in a negative way. People don't have the power to create their own opinions because they're so much influenced by the media and their reports. So the media uses techniques, emotional ways to actually hinder the public's opinion.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Kashvi.
Yes, ma'am. As you said that use of media lead to mental trauma, but at the time of the lockdown period, when people were suffering from the loneliness, this media was the only way to recover from this mental trauma.
Social media did not make you recover from the mental trauma. First of all, people became so involved with media that
instead of spending time with their own family, utilizing those 2 precious years with actually connecting with your family away from your busy schedules, they left the family behind and went to social media, from where they experienced anxiety and depression, and therefore which led to loneliness. And that is the result of mental trauma. So people could have utilized those years in communicating with their family, but they did not do that and chose the other way, which was the path to loneliness.
All right, Monica Kumari.
So, you suggest that the media influence the society in a negative way. Can you tell how media influence the society in a negative way?
My whole speech was an answer of how media influences the society in a negative way. I first of all give the example that we become the captive of media. The US has reported that the puberty of children starts earlier than the average age. Actually, and also, like in the lockdown, we heard that news of a young girl committing suicide due to TikTok. So this influence of media is fatal. So isn't this negative? Someone died because of the high influence, negative influence of media. Isn't this enough to prove it?
Vineet Kumar.
Yes, ma'am. So during the pandemic, during the lockdown, media was used as a messenger for education. So here, didn't media extend a positive influence by giving people from different paths an online education, which increased the chances of education, making us a more literate population.
The pandemic was an exceptional case. Actually, there's so many reports which say that media, social media, increases the distraction from the child from studies. The media helped in the it's not an influence. The media is helping in this manner, and I never said that media is not helpful. The influence is wrong, which is to be seen over here.
It's
All right,
Excuse me.
Abhavya.
Excuse me. Who asked the question? Is it Vineet? No,
yes, ma'am, it's me.
Vineet. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vineet. Abhavya.
Yes, ma'am.
Please
Ma'am,
ask
I
your
wanted
question.
to ask that she said that uh, social networking is a trauma, a mental trauma. But during the lockdown, during those 2 years, the social media was the only thing that means the social media worked as a messenger. But so how can we say that it was a mental trauma? Because during that time, only social media was the one who was transmitting the messages, who was telling us that what was going on in the government, what was all going on there.
All right, Abhavya, you lapsed the time. Thank you. Once again, you are expected to make your question precise so that the other person has the time to answer. You're not expected to give a speech. We'll go ahead with the next candidate, who is Sharanya Vajpayee. You may have the floor.
Good evening, ma'am, to all, and to all. My name is Sharanya Bajpayee, and I am going to speak about if media is an effective tool for influencing the society. I am for against the motion. We are all well with the saying that with ease and comfort also commits crimes. Media is a tool which has to its disposable the ability to spread all too easily. The information can be truthful, untruthful, or an opinion of a writer. Truthful information can be difficult to ascertain, but can most likely to be found in majority of national and local news profiles. Untruthful information can be spread likely be found on majority of national and local news profiles. Untruthful information that is spread purposely can be done as a satire or to instigate an emotional response. Untruthful information is also spread unpurposely by the thousands of users of social media. At times, it results in a whole lot involved in spreading the injustice, whose truth is just hidden somewhere or faded and doesn't find its way to seek light. Fake news can have real world consequences and a danger that must be addressed and addressed quickly. Also, it is our moral obligation to not believe everything shown to us in its form, rather use of very common senses and instincts to weigh the gravity of the situation. A famous it says that disinformation is duping, but misinformation is tricking. We should try to seek the reality hidden behind the covets of these flashing news headlines. Sometimes the whole propaganda formed by the media hides the truth about it. I would just conclude by saying that it's okay to be honest, not knowing rather than spreading falsehood. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharanya. Questions for Sharanya? Tanvi, go ahead.
You mentioned in your speech that media often spreads fake news, and a majority of population often ends up believing in that fake news. But don't you think this just shows the influence and the power media holds onto the people?
Yes, it shows, but it's though it hides the truth behind the news. It hides the truth. It makes propaganda, and by hiding the truth, it.
All right, seeing no more questions, we'll go ahead with the next candidate, Gursimranpreet, who will give her speech against the motion.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Gursimranpreet Kaur of Class 8 from Ludhiana, Punjab. Today, I am going to express my views against the motion media is an effective tool for influencing the society. The term media, which is plural of medium, refers to a channel of communication. It includes online and physical newspapers, magazines, radio, television, telephone, and the internet. The negative effect of media can lead people towards poverty, crime, nudity, violence, mental and physical health disorders, and others. The negative effect of media are like: first, the unauthorized news headlines are the biggest example of negative impact of social media on our society. Furthermore, the cases of killing innocents by acquiring weapons are also considered one of the major negative impact of media on children, as they usually get carried away by provoking news stories, action movies, and video games. I want to say that also numerous studies have also shown that excessive use of media can affect our sleep quality. Also, now people can bully other people online on social media. Young people use a lot of social media nowadays. It distracts us from our studies. It is really harmful for us, for students. Generation gap is also created due to social media because students spend more time on social networking sites instead of spending time with their families. They are more prone to low self-esteem, peer pressure, and mental ill health. At last, I would like to conclude by saying that don't use social media to impress people. Use it to impact people. Thank you.
Thank you. Question. Tanvi.
You pointed out that excess of social media is bad. So don't you think it depends on, it varies, like it depends on the user, the way he or she is using the platform, and not the media that's to be blamed?
Yeah, it's up to students how they use media. But due to its increasement in our society, many students use a lot of media. But it's up to students, they can also avoid it. But many students in our society are not avoiding today due to its increasement in our society. That's why it is harmful for us.
Thank you.
Jayanti, go ahead.
All right. So you said that social media can distract students. Don't you think that a lot of social media actually raises awareness and this encourages studying out of the book for students?
I think everything has its own pros and cons. But if you, it's up to students that how they use. If they use it in a positive way, then it will be positive for them. But if they will use it in a negative way, then it will be negative for them.
Thank
So
you.
if we will use it in a positive way, so it will be positive for us.
Vineet?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Shankar. Shankar V. Kumar.
That's the problem I'm having. I'm searching for Vinith. Better.
Ma'am, I had to change devices in the middle because my old device had some internet issues. My name is Shankar, ma'am. I'm sorry for the delay.
That is why I asked the question last time also.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
So, okay, ma'am. So my question is, you said that it's based on this up to the students on how they use the media, but actually, isn't the media is just a messenger? And don't you think that it's about what people put into it? And at the right small ages, when they're getting fed with such bad content, how is it their fault?
All right, Aditya.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask that in your speech, you mentioned that media has affected our sleep. But if we limit ourselves, don't you think we can stop this?
Yes, we can limit this, but in today's life, people are not limiting. That's why it's not good. It is affecting our sleep quality. But if we can limit it, then it will good.
Great. Guys, just a sincere request to the ones who are asking questions, please make it precise. It's easy for us to understand. Kindly don't make a speech as your comment.
And one more thing, Ray Smith Core. What is her name? Who has joined?
My name is Sanvi Kaur.
Sanvi Kaur. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me see who's next. Dhruva will speak in favor of the motion. You may have the floor.
Okay, ma'am. Before you start the timer, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you clearly. Can you tell me on which side of the argument I am on?
In favor.
In favor. All right, got it. Okay, you can start the timer as I start to speak. It is quite evident to all of us that the mass media has become an essential part of everyone's life. Or should I say, the media plays a constructive role in today's society. Good afternoon, judges. I hope you're having a great day as always. I'm Dhruva Bhosle in the 8th grade coming from SNBP International School in Ratni, Pune. I'm here to represent the motion saying that the media is a very effective tool for influencing the society. First of all, the media keeps you informed irrespective of the geolocation. No one can no one can deny the blessings of media in today's world. The mass media helps people to remain informed.
Na clarity illa. Speech.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, beta.
Okay, yeah. First of all, okay. The mass media helps people to remain informed and updated about the various news, events, social activities, and more, and it doesn't matter where you live. For example, while sitting in India, one can get all the latest news and events of the UK or even the USA. Like even while sitting on the other side of the globe, got the breaking news of Barack Obama winning the presidential election in the United States. He became the first African American to hold the office. Second of all, the media can influence the actions of a person, and when your favorite celebrity wears a black on black outfit, you're probably also going to want to wear the same outfit because you want to be more like your favorite celebrity, and so they influence the way you wear clothes. Let's take an example. Ariana Grande. Back in 2018, Ariana Grande started the trend for oversized hoodies. Ariana posted a pic of her in an oversized hoodie and everyone went wild. Actually, according to list of sort of fashion website, Ariana Grande was the source of 130% increase of searches for the oversized hoodies. And so because of the love people have for Ariana, they wanted to be more like her. And I would like to end my argument there. Thank you very much and have an awesome day.
All right, questions for Dhruv. Will Simrat,
So you told in your speech that we can get the latest news due to this media. But what about the unauthorized news headlines that we get from media? Try to suggest how to get rid of these unauthorized news headlines that we get from media.
Yeah, so actually these unauthorized news that we get from the media, that also is a thing that is possible. And unauthorized news is like there every time. Actually, most of the time the news is like sometimes it's bribed by the political people. And so actually I think that I don't think we can get rid of it as of now, but sooner or later I'm sure people can come up with technologies to get rid of these unauthorized news. Thank you for your question, by the way.
Vineet.
Ma'am Shankar. So my question is that there were also these bad games like Blue Whale, and people started circulating them like through media as a messenger. So don't you think that because of media being an active role as using its active role as a messenger, children especially started to die because of this game, because of its suicidal qualities. So what are your views on this agoristic app?
Okay, first of all, that's not the media's fault, in my opinion. That's the children's fault, and they should be in control of these activities that they're doing on these platforms. On these platforms,
Thank you.
no problem.
All right. Seeing no more questions, we'll go ahead with the next speaker, who is Anshika.
Yes, ma'am.
Anshika Goyal in against the motion, right? Please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Media is a good means for communication, but not the best. Respected judges and all the opponents present here, good afternoon. I'm Anshika Goyal from DAV Centenary Public School, Haridwar. I'll be speaking in against the motion in the debate on media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Media on society can lead people towards poverty, crime, nudity, violence, bad mental and physical health disorders, and others as such several outcomes. Youngsters and children often tend to mix the real and the real world under the influence of the mass media. The world is coming closer to a global village strongly influenced by the media. On social media, everyone publishes whatever they want. Fake news websites are broadly common, publishing lies and fabricated news. Medical, social, and psychological issues are a few things that media uses against us. Media mostly, media mostly, media mostly shows the commercial news and the fake news which misleads and affects to many people. Many times, the political parties pay the media so that the media would speak in the favor of that party only and they would get the attention of the people more. Cyberbullying, blackmailing is also done through the media, which is again a disadvantage of media. Media attracts the people to itself, which use when people spend many hours continuously watching televisions, phones, and listening to radios, results to obesity and loneliness, anxiety, fear of missing out, isolation, and many more things that a person should not have. In short, I would like to say that media is not a good, media does not give a good influence on the society. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Anshika? Nishtha?
Yes. You said media attracts it's towards media attracts us towards itself. So isn't it influencing? What's your point over here?
Yes, I said that, but it attracts when, like, we are watching some Instagram and we are watching a lot of videos on it, and we saw a lot of dance videos and many others, and we get attracted towards it, which, when we are, which, it's a, um, we spend a lot of time watching it, and we like it very much, and we spend a lot of time, which causes many diseases like obesity and also some emotional things like we just we are just isolated. We doesn't spend time with our family members, which is a negative point for the media.
All right. Arav?
You said that media is funded to resides on one side, but don't you think it's the viewer's choice after seeing because nowadays there are many news channels, so don't you think that there is a the viewer should make their choice on which side they should reside?
Yes, the viewer has the right to choose their whatever they want. It's their right to choose the political party which is correct for them, but they choose it by the news, like whatever the news shows. If it is showing the good views, good things for the same party, so the viewers would also just think the same thing that yes, they must be right, and they would absolutely choose that same party which has paid to the media.
Jayanti?
So you said that media is a good means of communication, but not the best. Do you have any ideas for an alternative informatory platform then?
Sorry.
Okay, so you said that media is a good means of communication, but not the best. Do you have any ideas for another platform that sources content and information then?
Yes, it provides a good communication and another thing like it provides a good communication also, but communication leads like when we have a communication at our homes, so we avoid just like face to face, like we are with our friends on online meetings, and we are just doing video calls and all, and we are not just like in a fun to meet them going outside. So that is also not good because we are just sitting at our homes and watching the mobiles, talking to our friends through the mobiles, and that is not a good thing.
Thank you.
Tanvi?
Yes, so you mentioned in the speech that how media often, news channels often have biased parties and they show good things about them, and people often then think they are good and then they vote. So don't you think this just shows the power media holds on like power media holds on and the influence it holds on people that it can actually uh, make them form opinions?
Yes, they do, but they are providing a negative influence because absolutely the party which has paid, they must be like they may knew that they are not a good party and the people won't vote them. So that's why they had paid to the media so that they would get more views and more attention of the people. And media absolutely shows the good points of that bad party, and people think that yes, it is a good party, and people vote to that. And in future, the people knew that it is not a good party, and then they blame to the media, and it is a negative point for the media.
Monica?
Yes. You suggest that media provides us fake news. Then what about the positive news? And when you are saying that it provides fake news, then how you are getting information through media?
Sorry, I can't understand what you said.
I said that you are saying that it provides us fake news. Then what about the positive news? And how you are getting information?
Yes, I said that they provide fake news, but I didn't say that it never provides good news. It many times provide good news also, means positive news also, which is good, but many times it also
show the fake news which affect many people.
Right, with this, we'll go ahead with the next speaker, who is Anushka. Anushka is absent. So, Sargun Kaur in favor of the motion. Sargun ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please begin.
So if it was 1930s, our center of attention would have been radios. If it was 1960s, we'd be talking about TV. Had it been 1990s, we'd be standing behind hazy screens and discussing about cable TV. And it is today that we're discussing about media. First of all, I would like to clear this one thing that media includes TVs, radios, magazines, newspapers, last but not the least, social media or internet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the topic that I, Sargun Kaur of Springdale Senior School, Amritsar, will be throwing light on. And I will be speaking for the motion, media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Media, it has definitely revolutionized our world and affected the humanity in both positive and negative ways. Social media or media, it has no doubt democratized the space for thought, but somewhere it has also unleashed the monster in us. Social media, especially WhatsApp rumors, led to the brutal public murder of Muhammad Akla. It was also on the same platform that fake narratives of child abductors led to the violent killings of Abhijit Das and Nilotpal Nath in Snap. Dalits through social media. But social media is not always negative. We also came through the Dalits whose voices were once choked by the system, they raised their voices through social media. They organized and educated just like Ambedkar wanted them to. To conclude, I would just say that as technology grows, so do our needs. But it's sometimes that we do not see it's negative. We only see it's good, but other times we see it's negative. Everything has its pros or cons, but the matter of the fact is, perhaps it does more good than bad. We just keep talking about the good and do not see the bad, or we just keep talking about the bad or do not see the good. Thank you.
All right, questions for Sargun. Saroj.
Ma'am, it's Pratik. Ma'am, I want to ask her that how does social media play a important role in politics and democracy?
Well, social media definitely plays an important role in democracy and politics. Well, all of us are on social media nowadays. We all are exposed to social media. If someone wins an election, we get the news through social media. If something bad happens, or if we can definitely something bad happens, if a representative of the government he isn't working appropriately, we can raise our voice through social media. Social media, so it definitely plays a very important role in democracy. We can raise our voice, just like once Dalits, they were not able to raise their voices, but now they finally can because of social media. The high rank officials or the minister, they are in reach. We can raise our voice to them. We can highlight our issues now because of social media. Thank you.
Rasmi.
I'm Sanvi Kaur, and I want to say that the amount of news on media regarding negative things, like bad news, is more exposed in the media, whereas the virtuous activities of people remain concealed. So the bad things on the media affect the intellect of the person, and the person chooses that way, the wrong route. What do you have to comment on that?
Well, exactly. As I said earlier, social media or media, it affects the humanity in both positive or negative ways. But it is up to us if we really get influenced by it. One can still have a thick skin and be on social media and not get affected, but one can also have a thin skin and influenced by it or end up doing something wrong. So I mentioned that it can have both influences, a negative one and a positive one as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right, seeing no more questions, we'll go ahead with the next candidate. Drisha Kapoor will give her speech against the motion.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm facing a little bit of technical difficulties right now. I can't switch on my camera. Can you just give me 5 minutes to correct that issue?
All right, in that case, we won't give you 5 minutes. You'll be placed at a later stage. Sherlyn Malhotra will give her speech in favor of the motion. You may go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Sherlyn,
Yes, ma'am.
cool, audible
Social
and
media.
visible.
Social media was the only technology working when the whole world came to a standstill during COVID-19. Can any one of us imagine the crisis that could have been drastically be created in the absence of media? Now that would have been a complete disaster. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Sharan Malhotra. I am here to speak on media as an effective tool in influencing the society. Bob Marley was a true hero because his songs were powerful. They spoke for the first time about black people. His energetic songs were referred to as poor man's newspaper. Many people learned about racism faced by black people. Message conveying is technical in journalism. In 1980s, there was no social media. Still, Bob Marley's classic hardcore songs influenced and made a ray of hope in the hearts of black people. Either it's 1980s or 21st century, media always influences the society. Oda Faraimo, journalist from Norway, grew up with her mother, who was Minister of Justice, and she was introduced to all new things, computer and internet. Growing up, she got interested in media, and all the information provided to her, she framed herself as the confident, outspoken journalist of Norway. Social media is proved to be a golden source of knowledge, information, and apt career choices. Has media changed our world? If yes, to what extent? It has changed the world in ways we can never go back to how it was. 6 billion out of 7 billion people on earth have access to media or mobile devices and gain recreational opportunities with those 200 social media handles. Although my fellow debaters have tried their best, I still prove my point the best that media is the most powerful entity on earth because it gives voice to voiceless people also. Thank you.
All right, questions for Sherlyn? Seeing none, we'll go ahead with the next candidate, Niyati Agarwal. Are you there?
Ma'am, I've solved my
Yes, ma'am.
issue. I can now turn on my camera.
What, Drisha?
Ma'am, now I've solved the issue. Now I'm able to turn on the camera.
Noted, Drisha, but we'll give you the chance towards the end, not in between.
Okay.
Niyati, go ahead.
Yes. Imagine you bought a dress on the market for which you had been saving money for months. But in excitement, you forgot to check it. And as you came home, you observed that there were holes in it. What feelings would you have? Regret and anger for sure. Well, media is also like this dress, full of excitement but with drawbacks. Greetings of the day, everyone. Today, I, Niyati Agarwal from Amritsar, am here to speak against the motion. Media, the omnipresent, has taken over the lives of each and every generation. Even your grandparents can be seen binging on their phones, forwarding WhatsApp messages, or relishing YouTube videos. Well, advertisements have always been the barriers of my happiness, as they always come between my favorite shows. But some of them are of my interest. Where the ad of the Nike Air Jordans can fill you up with ecstasy. At the same time, it may create an inferiority complex for those who cannot afford it. Today's youth has a tendency of revealing everything online. And according to the Harvard University researchers, people on estimate tend to talk about themselves around 35% when they are offline. But it skyrockets to a whopping 80% as they go offline, as they go online, creating a narcissistic obsession with themselves. Besides, scrolling through the Kardashians' Instagram won't refresh your mind. Instead, push you into the highlight reel of comparing yourself to others, making you feel even more depressed and insecure about yourself. Moreover, the ambiguity of contents and news report can lead you to put you in a dilemma of trusting one news channel. Thank you.
All right, questions for Niyati? Nishtha?
You mentioned that all the people these days are sharing things on WhatsApp and so I wanted to ask you, isn't this influence that media have done on us, that every person is sharing everything online?
I actually didn't get your question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. You said that all the people these days in lockdown started sharing things online on WhatsApp or YouTube. Isn't this influence of media on us?
It is an influence. Like, I think you took it a bit on a wrong side. I actually gave it as an example that you may be scrolling through YouTube, relishing YouTube videos, and sharing everything online. It is a media. It is an influence of media on us, but at the same time, it may violate our privacy and all. So that's why.
Gursimrat Preet?
Yes. As you told, as you told in your topic, that these uses of social media leads to anxiety. But don't you think that when we are alone or when we don't have some family member with us, social media increases our loneliness?
Actually, I never mentioned about anxiety in my speech.
Rasmeet?
I'm Sanvi Kaur, and I want to say that there are many people who are introverts. So they might not have the audacity to express their feelings in front of people. As you mentioned, that people face to face don't mention much about themselves. But one look at the Instagram or any social media app can give them the courage to speak up for themselves. So that is a really positive point. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I totally agree with you. See, everything comes with its pros and cons. Now, you really can't ban out media from your life entirely, because just tell me one part of the day where you are not using media. So, here also, I come to my conclusion that everything has its pros and cons, but it's our mindset only how we like sieve all the information. We don't use it, how we use it, and how we sieve the information, like how we use the internet and how we use it for ourselves. So that's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Jayanti?
So you talked about advertisements and how they often degrade some underprivileged viewers. But don't you think advertisements are also a way for businesses to grow, and their target demographic is not to degrade viewers, rather to promote their work?
Yes, it definitely is, but at some points of time, it may create this complex in people or some mindset in people that I don't think we are quite relevant for this thing, or my friends. Like, it's again a pressure which you have been put by someone. So that's why it's again the pressure and mindset which we need to take care of.
Right, thank you.
Advitya?
You said people reveal everything online, but don't you think that you can restrict, one can restrict oneself by not sharing information online? Yes, one can definitely do it, but at the same time, again, I would like to repeat myself again. At certain points, when people like when something happens in extreme, then only all of this thing happens. Again, it depends upon our our usage and our self control, how we restrict or use the things in our life.
All right. With this, we have elapsed the argument round, and we'll go ahead with the next speaker, Armandeep Kaur, who will be speaking. Okay, Armandeep is absent. So Ananya Thakur will be speaking against the motion. Please go ahead.
Sure. Why do we need other opinion? Don't we have our opinion? Don't we know what's good for us? A very good evening to respected judges and worthy participants. I am Ananya Thakur speaking against the topic that is media as an effective tool for influencing the society. We humans know what is right for us, so we don't need anything to which we should be influenced. The time has come when everyone is subjected to one's own free will. Media's job is to inform people what's going around, but not influence us. Do you know 2 soldiers were killed by militants in cross-firing at border at the time when media was overflooded with the news of Ranbir and Alia's marriage? People cannot even afford the daily meal, so how can they even purchase the cheapest source of media, that is newspaper? Then how are they influenced? We are educated people and does not aimlessly follow what everything is shown in social media or television. It is a common mistake to think media is a powerful source of society which determines our actions and our identity. If it is so, then why racism, corruption, non-violence, inequality is still prevailing? A wrong concept misleads the understanding, and the wrong understanding eventually demolishes the structure of the society. Also, media presents half truth. It has become the watchdog of politicians. It does not cover reality but only fake news. At last, life is not measured by likes, comments, or followers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya. Questions for her? Tanvi?
You mentioned in the start of your speech that we should form our own opinions without getting influenced. But media is the source where we are getting information, and human nature is so that we are more inclined to what a powerful person is speaking. Or so, how do you? So, why do you think media does not play a vital role in influencing our minds?
See, basically, what happens is that you told that one powerful person is speaking on one side of the topic, right? So we need to concentrate. If we want to know about that topic and we are, willing to know about that topic, then and we don't want to be influenced by the influence of media, then we should also concentrate on the other side of the topic, because everything has its pros and cons, boons and bans. So that's
Jayanti?
So you talked about poverty and how they have no resources to access media. Then how do you suggest that the underprivileged and the oppressed of our country get to know about what's going in the country if media is not the answer?
okay. So if media is not the answer, then they they might get to know about this information from others. And if you have seen that there are television TVs going on in some shops, so they can get through that.
Thank you.
Arav?
I have a question. You said we don't need media to influence us. But what about the TED Talks and other motivational videos circulating that really boost our confidence? Don't you think that is required?
It boosts our confidence, right? It doesn't influence us. So basically, it's that we are watching it for our interest, not for our influence. and boosting our motivation, our willpower. That's
Nishta?
Yes. You mentioned that we know what's right for us. If we would really know what's right for us, why is there suicides happening because of some apps or some games?
okay. So there are people where they are not able to decide about two ways in their lives. So there is a lot of confusion in their lives. That's why sometimes it's rare that we are not able to make decisions for us.
Monica?
You said that media is to provide information to the society. Then how do you suggest that it cannot for influencing the society?
See, we are watching news for our information. We are using that thing. We are not getting influenced that into that thing. So we can't say that if I'm watching any advertisement or any one of my favorite shows that make me happy, so it doesn't mean that it's influencing me.
Vineet?
Yes, ma'am. So based on what you just said, suppose there are many people in this world. So some of them might have depression. So there are apps which if they call upon, they may be encouraged to take positive action and may be given the right help to be guided onto the right path. So without media, how would this be possible? There would just be more suicide deaths. Don't you agree?
Sorry, could you just repeat?
There are a lot of people with depression, and there are apps which show them the right way. So without these apps, without this form of media, don't you think that there would be an increase in the number of suicidal deaths?
Actually, I totally disagree with you because it happens like. Sorry, it's disturbing me. Could you please stop that? Okay, thank you. So,
You elapse the time, Ananya. That disturbance is very intentional. So we'll go ahead with the next speaker, who is Kashvi Joshi, against the motion.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself, Kashfi of Devi Seminary Public School, Uttarakhand, Haridwar. Today, as I have got the topic, media as an effective tool for influencing the society. But first of all, the question arises, what does media refers to? So, media refers to various means of communication that help us communicating to a large number of people at the same time. This is known as the mass media. For example, radio, television, newspaper, magazine, etc. Social media sites are also using internet for the influencement. Negative effects of the media can lead to crisis, violence, crime, and other severe conditions like health issues. Most people are containing the news so seriously, carrying the news so seriously without checking the facts. Moreover, these sites have become the place or platform of cyberbullying. Most of the people are getting cyberbullied because of these sites. The reason and the most one point is that many a time it happens that a mob lynching, for example, a mob lynching has take place due to the spread of the rumors and because of these social media. Many political parties are also using these social media in a negative way for their benefit. People of the younger age are preferring these sites for every single minute without checking its pros and cons or without checking the fact of the single news. They take it so seriously and believe it so positively and so simply. The reason and the one more point is that why we should know the reason and you should know the fact behind it. So I conclude my word that media should be impartial. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have questions for the same. Nishtha.
Yes, you mentioned believing news without people believe in news without seeing the facts. Then what are the new? What is the news for if it's not? If we need to check the facts only, what is the news for?
For example, you are asking for?
You said that believing news, the people believe in news without seeing the facts. If we need to see the facts only, why are we watching news then?
Listen, if there are something news that are so much we are rumors, we can say that when we spread this rumor, we should. It's our duty to check without before spreading it. It's our duty to check that we are getting the information. Is it true or is it a joke or it's a kidding? We should know that thing, na, without because because first we have to check that is it true. Then only we should pass it to the another or convey to the another person.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask one more question, can I?
No, you can ask only one question.
Okay.
Others, keep your mic muted. Anushka Goyal.
Seeing no response from Anshika Goyal, we'll go ahead with Vineet.
Ma'am, I want to ask.
All right, go ahead.
I want to ask that you said that people get cyberbullied because of the media. So people should be aware of that, and media also just influences us about it. So that's why it is like we should get positive ways also for that. So we must be aware of that. So what's the fault of the media here? The thing is that when we download or install any social media app, it asks for the your personal details. And when we give that, it's our duty to check whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. That because we are giving it for the good purpose or for which will be the pros and cons for this when we are giving this. And along with that, the media also uses, the media is not using, the people who are doing using the social media sites are doing so with the help of these social media sites. So I wish that the social media sites should be so much concluded or restricted to these such things so that the cyberbullying can be avoided. Okay, thank you.
All right, next we'll have Vineet.
Yes, ma'am. So you said that the media has to be impartial, but actually, media. So where the news reporter sits, the media needs big amounts of money. So they're sometimes part of big business houses, and big business houses believe that make focusing on only one side of the story makes it interesting. So then, how will the media be impartial? It always focuses on one part.
Yes, it's true that many big companies give funds to the media and tell us to gain TRP by spreading on the news on one side. But in India, media, as you know, Indian media is a free. But sometimes the government bans with the censorship. It should be impartial and unbiased to any region and organization and leave it to the people themselves to create their opinion on the topics and then to take a decision without getting influenced by every single thing.
Thank you.
Cool, guys. So I guess one speaker was left, right? Who was it?
Ma'am Drisha.
Drisha Kapoor.
You may go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Timer
I
has been
haven't started the timer.
Make the lie big, make it simple. Keep saying it, and eventually they'll believe it. Famous words by Adolf Hitler. Let's take an example of our daily news. Isn't that what they essentially do? They take a topic. Most of the time, the topic is quite easy to understand and simple. They keep on repeating it time and again. Although we may not believe everything, but eventually we get influenced by the lie in some way. Greetings to all of you present here. I, Drisha Kapoor, will be presenting my views against the motion. Media is an effective tool for influencing the society. One of the major problems of children of our generation is social media, isn't it? We spend hours and hours glued to our gadgets, scrolling on and on. It's so addictive, and it is so easily accessible and the most common way of entertainment. Children often stay awake way past their bedtime due to this, and it becomes quite difficult for the child to concentrate on their schoolwork, and eventually the grades and academic response gets worse day by day. The media also acts as a platform for bullying, which deeply affects the person's mental health. Surveys have shown that 90% of teens between the ages of 13 to 17 have used social media, and about 51% of them have reported being bullied on social media in some or the other way. When people see their friends showing off their stuff, they get a sense of jealousy and have a desire to get the thing. People even go to extensive means like stealing just to fit in. The news nowadays is so biased that the news channels go out of their way and cover up the mistakes made by politicians and make the government system seem transparent. Fake news is flying faster than the speed of light. So, and I say it does more harm. Thank you.
All right, questions for Drisha, Vineet. Vineet, Aditya.
Yes, ma'am. My question to you is that you said that media is affecting the concentration of students, but don't you think that study groups on various apps are helping students in their studies?
Yeah, some children are focused on their study and they like to concentrate on their study while they're on their media also. But I believe most of the children go on to the media platforms just for fun to entertain themselves and they get distracted.
Nishtha.
Yes. You mentioned people are jealous and they want to buy the same thing that makes them like. So isn't this influenced by media?
Yeah, it is influenced by media. I don't deny that it's not an influence, but the topic is the negative influence. So I'm just focusing on that.
Okay.
Abab.
Yes. So my question is that you said that sometimes many children misuse the internet, but some use it properly. So what do you think that should we promote online education or not? Because online education was the only thing that helped us before, means 2 years ago.
Yeah, so the people who have the access to online education are lucky, but most of the children do not have it, and people prefer interacting and going to schools more. So I think that online education is not very an influential way to like study.
Thank you.
Saroj.
Ma'am, I'm Pratik and I want to ask that how can we save children or prevent cyberbullying?
Yeah, so I think there should be an age limit and they should confirm their age limit before actually joining any social media platforms, and that could prevent cyberbullying, because like the people who are of age understand and understand that it does not matter what the people around them are saying, but children do believe it and get depressed.
Cool, I believe no more questions. So with this, we have come to the end of argumentation round. So guys, just one last time I'm asking that if anyone is left who couldn't give his or her speech, suppose not, I'd request both the judges to give their feedback.
Chitra ma'am, you first.
Thank you, ma'am. Really, a big salute to all the participants. You have done really a great job, children. A lot of research you people have done on this topic. That's why you are so confident in giving your views and answering for the questions. Everything from, see, you have already cleared a round. In district level you have won, that's why now you are in this level. Already you are a winner, you are competing with the winners. If you are not able to make it to the next round, it may be a few minus, and think, always believe that, children, it is me and Archana ma'am's judgment. Okay, it is not others judgment. We would have seen you in a different way, we might have something in our mind, on that basis we would have judged you, but you are far better than many other children in your age group. Okay, already you are a winner, that's why you have got a chance here. And another thing I have to say is that a very big salute. Right from 3 o'clock, it is almost 5:45. See, you are still there in this competition and actively participating. That is also a big plus for you. Well done, children. Keep it up. Keep growing. Keep excelling. Wonderful job done by everyone. My big round of applause to each and every participant. Wonderful, wonderful. Love you all, beta. Great job done. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your feedback.
Thank you, ma'am.
Highly appreciated.
Yes.
Archana ma'am?
Excuse me. One thing I missed out. Vidhi, you have done a remarkable job, beta. Right from the beginning till the end, tremendous job you are doing. Great job done by Vidhi also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was, and I'm really grateful for the comment that I was able to give my best. So, and ma'am, we are really glad to have both of you. Like, it feels really good to interact with teachers. So, Archana ma'am, can we have you?
Yeah, thank you, Vidhi. And thank you, Chitra ma'am. I think the major portion you have already voiced out. Yes, first of all, applaud for each and every participant. Reason being, you all are speaking on a public platform, expressing your views with confidence, and answering the questions put on the spot. It's remarkable. That's the very first thing. So you all are winner. Marking is just a variation to take some people to another level who are little better than the other ones. Always remember, as we say, participation is important, winning is not. But winners, they may have something beyond edge, but the rest are not the losers, because the rest, they are learning from the winners as well. So every time we are learning something new. You had asked wonderful questions on the spot, listened to each and everyone's speech so carefully, raised your voices to a very good topic. Remarkable achievement. Two, when you are trying to express the ideas, voice modulation is really important in debate. And definitely, there were few I could come across, I felt they were little less confident, so they were relying more on their speeches somewhere on the screen, somewhere they had kept them. Try to avoid it. It helps, but it should be avoided. They should be just keywords. Keywords means we just get a hint and then we move on. We don't have to read the sentence. You people are smart. So you need to be a bit more careful, because the higher level, if you reach the higher level, definitely the competition will be tougher. So you need to be careful about that. Now, the topic. The topic was media is an effective tool. If we have a look, the statement itself never says that it is a good influence we are talking about or a bad influence, because the statement begin with the concept it is an effective tool. So the opposite side, somewhere you had to talk about some other aspects of media which we overlook. Most of the time we focused on social media, and I think for you people, social media just refers to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or WhatsApp, or maybe Snapchat, or Discord, whatever you people in the present generation use. So take it, media is not just these tools. Media is a bit more. So a little more exploration would be required for your national level competition, because there the topic will be different again. And yes, you will have to have better research. All the best to each and every one of you. May the best one win the competition, but don't lose your hope. Next time, there is always a scope. So, all the best to everyone.
Thank
And
you, ma'am.
Thank
thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Wonderful
Thank
job
you
done
so
by
much.
remarks.